My fellow UFC addicts, what is up? Max with the Parlay Princes. We are here for a UFC Fight Night 101, Dern vs. Ribas, one of the sketchiest cards of the year. I'm excited to watch fights again. I am not excited to bet on this. If we hit a parlay, it's by the grace of God. So rough way to start the year. There are some good fights on here. I'm excited to see THIAGO MOISES fight. I'm excited to see Christian Rodriguez lose. I want to see Kopylov get a win. And I want to see Dern's butt cheek slapping around. So, and she's single now. My guy TREY is about to lose his UFC career and lost his girl. Don't be like TREY. Here we go, boys. Like, subscribe, comment. Definitely comment, because I definitely need your help with this one. And you guys got some great picks. I went live last time for the Buckley and Colby fight, and we got some great props in there. We were close to $5 for 2,100. We were close to even the dollar for a milli. The first four legs were hitting, so I was getting nervous, but definitely comment what you guys think if I missed anything. This is technically the prediction video for dummies, because this card, there are a lot of names I'm not going to know how to say. There are a lot of fighters. I don't know their styles, but we're going to say a prayer and try and get this shit right. Here we go, boys. This is a rough way to start the card because I don't know this person's name. NURULLO, ALIEV, and YANAL, ASHMOUZ. ASHMOUZ. So, the problem here is we got ALIEV, I hope I'm saying that right, who is relentless with the pressure, trying to get the takedowns, has good hands, versus ASHMOUZ, who has nothing on the ground at all. Very good with the hands, nothing on the ground at all. So it's one of those. It's, does the guy get the takedowns, apply the pressure, come out looking strong, or does ASHMOUZ, imagine I'm saying every single name wrong, or does ASHMOUZ snipe him in the face when he's shooting in? That's literally all it comes down to here. These guys have had very few UFC fights. My guy ASHMOUZ has had 3 UFC fights. He's won 2 of them. Beat Sam Patterson, but I guess Sam Patterson has looked better recently. But at first, Sam Patterson was like, fade him. To go the distance with Trevor Peek, I like that too, which was relatively recently, actually. I don't know how I don't remember this. That was about 100 days ago. So I like the activity for ASHMOUZ, and that's something we have to talk about for ALIEV as well. Is ALIEV hasn't fought in a year and a half, I believe. Hasn't fought in a year and a half, and he's only had 1 UFC fight against, who is this? Rafael Alves, who has been on a tear in karate combat. I think. I might have gotten that completely wrong, actually. His face looks just like someone else's. Don't listen to that last part. So that's the issue here. It's the striker versus kind of a true MMA artist. We're gonna look at the odds at the end, but for right now, I'm gonna side with ALIEV, and I'm not happy about it. Again, this card, guys, you're gonna see a lot of this. I'm not excited about Jack. He is 9-0. That means absolutely nothing to me. These guys are both young as too. We got a 24-year-old in ALIEV and 29-year-old in ASHMOUZ. About the same height, 3 inches of reach in ALIEV. I'm gonna go with the relentless pressure, the guy without the mustache. We got to do it. Let's check out the odds real quick as well. -500, absolutely horrible. What do we do with that information? I don't know. That means I'm definitely putting ASHMOUZ, YANAL on a few parlays for $1. We do low risk, high reward here, boys. I am opening up the betting slips for 2025 so we can hit more parlays. I am known for doing sketchy ass bullshit that does not hit, but we're going to try and tighten it up a little bit. We're going to keep the sketchy stuff going, but we're going to split it 50-50. It's not going to be like 80% sketchy, 20% locky. We're going to try and make it 50-50. So excited for the new year. Betting slip wise, but the odds on this, gun to my head, I'm going ALIEV, but also I will put YANAL on some tickets because plus 340 against a guy who hasn't fought in a year and a half. I do like it. Let's see, next on the card, we got FATIMA KLINE and VIKTORIIA DUDAKOVA. So, I am not high on VIKTORIIA DUDAKOVA at all whatsoever. I didn't even remember her fighting style. I remember her as more of a striker, but apparently she shoots for takedowns too. Never seen that in my life. Where have I been? And FATIMA KLINE fought my homegirl JAZZDAVICIUS. I always bet on JAZZDAVICIUS, and for her to go to the distance with JAZZDAVICIUS in her first UFC fight on short notice, and she was in there. She might have won a round, I forget. It went unanimous decision for JAZZDAVICIUS. Never mind. But yeah, for you to go on short notice, go the distance with JAZZDAVICIUS, I'm okay with that. Both these girls are going to try and truck forward. Not the best with their hands. They're going to try and get it to the ground. Both of them. I do think VIKTORIIA might be a little better standing, but I could also be very wrong about that. I don't know what weight class this is at, because we got a 125er and we got a 115er. I guess it's at 115. I'm going to go with KLINE. The only issue here is I know the odds are disgusting. Minus 850 for KLINE. Not a shot in hell. Not a shot in hell. Like, the value's on DUDAKOVA, but don't do that. Like, I would love for DUDAKOVA to win one round. We're going to definitely look at that plus 3.5, because that's going to be good money. But she might not even win a round, I'm going to be honest. But minus 850, I'm staying so far away from that. You couldn't even... There's nothing you do to convince me. It's like The Godfather trying to convince me to pick Colby. There's nothing you can do. I had Colby on 0 tickets. So the pick is KLINE. Does she get a finish? I really hope so. But that's staying far away from my parlays, boys. All right, this name is so long, it's cut off. So we're just going to call him by his first name. Magomed. We'll do an abbreviation for his last. Magomed Gods versus Bruno Lopes. Let's see what we got here. I had a quick little note about this to help me out. So we got a fast kickboxer in Magomed with takedown offense, but not defense. Versus someone that's slow on the feet with no striking defense. Gotta love it. What a matchup we got here, boys. The thing that confuses me, the odds are very close on this, which I actually don't like at all. From what I know, I actually don't know Lopez at all, but I know Magomed's fight style. If Bruno Lopez pulls this off, it's a miracle. I don't know how the odds are this close. I picture it stretching as it gets closer. But again, I got to go with the kickboxer who's just quick on the feet. Can't stuff the takedowns, but can get them. Bruno Silva just has to get takedowns, it looks like. It could be that simple. I did want to look at their records real quick, or ages. They're both 31 years old. Not much to see there. They're 205ers. And we got one fight in the UFC against Ribeiro for my guy Gods. This guy loves to go the distance recently, and he is undefeated. He's 9-0. Versus Lopez, who has only won a Contender Series fight. Got the KO in round 2. And he did the Contender Series one other time, it looks like, against my guy Ribeiro. Brenson Ribeiro, who looked really bad recently, so... I was heavy on Ribeiro against Ming Yang, and we know how that ended. Ming Yang just slept. Ming Yang acted like he had an eye poke, and then when Ribeiro went in the pocket, he said, ah, Ming Yang just spazzed. But Ming Yang has also been looking like a killer recently. But for Lopez to lose to Ribeiro like that in the Contender Series, yeah, I got to fade Lopez, guys, just based off his last couple fights. Again, very sketchy fight to bet on because you guys have no UFC experience, so say a prayer. Not going on any lock tickets, that's for sure. Gun to the head, I got to go Magomed, but I have died before with gun to my head bets. Next fight, definitely not going to say any of their names. ERNESTA, KARECKAITE, and... a Nicole with 2 L's. Do I say it differently than a Nicole? NICOLLE? CALIARI? She got some thick thighs. God damn. This can't be right. This reach is insane. ERNESTA has a 71-inch reach, and Nicole has a 62-inch reach. I guess that does make sense, actually. CALIARI is 6 inches shorter. So that immediately is a red flag for me. I'm not going to lie to you. This one, I know ERNESTA, they're both horrible on the ground, but CALIARI is better. CALIARI has 0 hands. So, again, guys, this is betting for dummies. I'm sorry, this is the worst prediction video ever, but this card is not my vibe at all. 311. Wait for 311. 311, I'm going to be preaching. I'm going to be like, but this one, I'm like, NICOLLE? I usually bet on Brazilians. That's how some of these fights are getting bet on, boys. Where you come from. We have one fight on the Contender Series for NICOLLE. She got a nice little sub in there. I just don't trust her. I don't trust her. I don't know what the odds are. We will check out the odds in a second. I got to go with the girl that just looks better, even though she lost her first fight in the UFC to Barbosa. Oh my God. How do you pick this, boys? What the I already have a headache. I already have a headache looking at this card. Oh my God. Why would I bet on half this shit? I also have a parlay at the end of this video. I forgot to mention that. Why would I bet on half this shit? I was supposed to come on here confidently, like, yes, ERNESTA, huge takedowns. Her grappling is at a 62%. No. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. Next fight. ERNESTA, gun to my head. Who gives a literally, who gives a about that fight? Let's see what else the betting odds have to say. Minus 215 for ERNESTA, plus 164 for NICOLLE with 2 L's. That name's getting me cranky. Preston Parsons versus Andreas GUSTAFSSON. GUSTAFSSON is the guy that looks like he's from the Aryan Brotherhood. Just fought in the Contender Series. Super hyped him up. Not me. The UFC did. And then his fight just wasn't... It was doggy as hell. That's why I would bet on this guy. He's doggy as hell. Like, this guy's going to fight for your money. That's the best way to put it. His fight IQ isn't the best. He'll like to, like, eat a punch to give one. So as long as his chin is there, I'm happy with it. But that shit's going to get cracked eventually. He's 33. Preston Parsons is 29. Definitely something to think about. Preston Parsons, I think he's just trying to get takedowns. That's really it. So against a guy that's going to punch you in the face as you're shooting in, like, I feel like GUSTAFSSON's really fighting for something. I don't know what it is. But again, this guy isn't going to lose unless you put his lights out. So I do like to bet on a guy like that. Again, the fight IQ isn't the best. But he looks like he's in a gang. So fade Parsons. Let's see Parsons' stupid ass odds. We got GUSTAFSSON at minus 220, Parsons at plus 168. I'm okay with that. I might put Parsons on 1 or 2 Hail Mary tickets, but for the most part, I'm going GUSTAFSSON. The issue is, does he get a finish? Because his last fight, he kind of got lucky in the fact that the guy, I forgot if the guy gave up or he knocked his ass out. I just remember the fight went way longer than I thought it would have. Not much to say there. Next fight. So this one, I am biased. But I'm also not. I'm trying to get a THIAGO MOISES interview popping off. And he's fighting TREY this week. And Vegas basically has the odds at what I would like him to be. I'm going to be honest. I did put my guy THIAGO in the parlay at the end of this video. Minus 180 against plus 140 TREY. My thing here is just THIAGO's a vet at age 29. I thought he was way older than that. He's not. He's been in the UFC for a super long time. Let me double check because I actually forget if it was 2013 or 2016. 2018, sorry. And his first fight in the UFC was against Beneil Dariush. He did lose that, but that's Beneil Dariush. So TREY loves to get subs, but he's also pretty nice with the hands recently. Was it Bahamondes? No, Zell Huber. He went the distance with Zell Huber in a striking battle. That's pretty crazy. Oh no, it was Bahamondes. I'm sorry. Oh, and Zell Huber. It was both. Zell Huber, he won unanimous decision, and Bahamondes, he's lost unanimous decision. So I'm not going to lie, that does kind of scare me. I'm just banking off the fact that we're going to see a decline from Ogden soon. Moises has just fought the way better competition. We'll just run through some of these people. Even though BSD hasn't looked the best recently, we do know that BSD is doggy. Ludovic KLINE lost decision. That's okay. Saint Denis got KO. That's okay. Islam Makhachev lost by submission in round 4. Beat Bobby Green. Beneil Dariush. Let's see, anybody on the come up that I might know. Not really. I'm just basing this off THIAGO's age, vetness, UFC experience. He is the better MMA fighter, I believe. I know he's fighting a jiu-jitsu guy, and that's okay with me. If THIAGO had nothing on the ground, I'd be terrified, but THIAGO has a lot on the ground, so I'm okay with that. I feel like he can keep it standing. He can get it to the ground and be safe. It is worth fading him a little bit, but I like THIAGO. He went on my parlay at the end of this video, and even Ogden to win 1 round, plus 3.5. I'm okay with that. We're okay with that, boys. Running up the card, Marco Tulio and IHOR POTIERIA. It's as simple. I just think, even though the age, even though Tulio's 2 years older, I think POTIERIA is just slightly on his way out. He still has more in him. He could be a prospect killer, which is what we have right here. And Marco Tulio didn't look the best in the Contender Series. Didn't look the best. He's got 8 KOs, 1 sub, but he actually is more known for being on the ground. I think it is club and sub. Don't take my word for that, but damn, these odds are dead even. We got 3 inches in height for IHOR. That stands out, but everything else is pretty dead even here. This is either going to look beautiful for my guy Tulio, or it's going to look absolutely horrible, and we're going to see some Vitor Petrino. My pick is Tulio, but it's tough because IHOR obviously has the way more UFC experience. He's fought some killers too. He fought Alberg. He fought Michel Pereira. I forget if the Michel Pereira fight is when Michel Pereira did a backflip and kneed him in the face. I forget what the fight that was, but I'm not going to lie. If IHOR wins, I'm not going to be shocked. So be careful with that pick, boys. Jose Johnson's Felipe Buns. I'm kidding. Bunes, I believe that's how you say it. Did I have any little quick notes for this so I can act like I know what the hell's going on here? Striker versus BJJ. So we got Jose as the striker, and we got my guy Buns. We're calling him Buns as the BJJ artist. Things that stand out to me are the height for Jose Johnson. Age, he's 6 years younger at age 29. And his last fight, he fought a crazy grappler and didn't do bad. He stayed in there. He was supposed to get finished. He didn't. I believe that was like one of those fights where Almabayev was a crazy, crazy minus 1,000 and just couldn't get the finish. But as I say that, I look at his record and he loves to go the distance. So I just got to trust my guy Jose based on his last fight. My guy Buns has had 1 UFC fight and got KO'd by Joshua Van. So I think I would just be safe betting Jose money line. Let me see real quick what the odds say about this donkey fight. Minus 235 plus 180. I'm okay with that. I'd much rather be a minus 150, something like that. But I do think Jose Johnson wins this shit. We have a lot of time to really figure this stuff out. This is obviously me just yapping. But let's run up the card, boys. Little jump cut for the gang. Here we go. Soriano and Uros Medic. I just can't bet on someone that lost to Nick Maximov. I'm sorry. Soriano. They call him pillow hands. He just couldn't get the finish over... Was it his last fight? How the hell do you say this name? Baeza? I sound like O'Malley with these names. Lost to Kopylov. He's fought some killer Soriano. He's got the more... No, actually, he does not have the more UFC experience. I take that back. How long has Medic been here for? Medic has been here since 2021. He has had freaking 6 UFC fights, lost 2 of them, lost to Jalen Turner, lost to Oral By. KOing Tim Means nothing to me. Matthew Semmelsberger too, that means nothing to me. Medic better win this because I put him on the parlay. I have nothing to back up this information, boys. They're both pretty well-rounded. Medic, don't do this to me. Next fight. Christian Rodriguez, the prospect killer, and Austin Bashi. So I believe this is Bashi's first fight at... Never mind, I take that back. I thought it was Bashi's first fight at 145. But it looks like his Contender Series fight was at 145, according to the ESPN, which is always wrong. Christian Rodriguez usually fought at 135, but came up to 145, lost to Erosa. We picked Erosa here. We love Juicy J over here. Christian Rodriguez, I like what someone said in a prediction video. I watched a few prediction videos. I like what somebody said. They said the people that lost to Christian Rodriguez, like Rosas Jr., Rodriguez didn't beat them. They just lost to him. It was like a gassing out thing. I don't think that happens with Austin Bashi. Super young, 23 versus 27 in Christian Rodriguez. I thought Christian Rodriguez was way older than that. So shout out Christian Rodriguez for being 27. You got your whole life ahead of you. Austin Bashi. Very well-rounded. More trying to get it to the ground, but when he does, he's not going to give up. We're not seeing some mirage here where he's just going to kiss you on the back. So my pick is Bashi. Super young. Great fight IQ. Looks just like Ben Askren. So watch out for the flying knee from Rodriguez. But my pick is Bashi. He's been on a tear. Undefeated, and he's on a 5-fight finish streak. 4 subs, 1 KO. I like it a lot. Anybody on the come up that I recognize? Not at all. I did put him on my ticket at the end. Check it out in the timestamps. Here we go. Chris Curtis, Roman Kopylov. Tough one, boys. Tough one. This is the tough one. This is probably the toughest one on the card, minus Cesar Almeida. Chris Curtis, super vetty. Roman Kopylov, I believe in his prime based off his age. 33, so right around his prime. Curtis is out of his prime. The issue here is Curtis is a doggy vet. And I usually like betting on doggy vets. He was winning. He could have won the Arnold Allen fight. Not Arnold Allen. Sorry, Brennan Allen. He could have won the Brennan Allen fight. But didn't. He got like injured at the end. Some shit. I believe I was picking Curtis that night too. That was a rough one for me. Let's see who he's... No contest for Imavov. Lost to Kevin Gastelum. Oh, God, it's like night and day with who they fought. It really just depends on who shows up that night, too. I feel like this is really one of those fights. Who shows up? Does Curtis show up? Shooting takedowns, pressure against the cage, not allowing Kopylov to throw anything? Or does he not shoot a takedown the entire fight and Kopylov just picks him apart with his kickboxing? I was very proud of my Anthony Hernandez pick against Kopylov. I was one of the only MMA YouTubers saying Anthony Hernandez that fight. And then I picked him for Almeida. I definitely see this going the distance. I love the prop for over 2.5 way more than I love picking a money line for this. We haven't looked at the odds for the last couple of fights. My bad, people. But this one, minus 280 for Kopylov. I actually don't like that. I wish it was like more of a pick on minus 150, plus 120. Minus 280 for Kopylov. I very rarely bet based off the odds, but damn. It's definitely worth throwing Curtis in some stuff, guys. Curtis is not out of here. He's the more well-rounded fighter, minus the kicks. Doesn't really throw many kicks. Kind of just like in the boxing clinch, throwing some hammers, shooting for takedowns, as where Kopylov is keeping distance, trying to do the kickboxing game. And he can stuff a few takedowns. He's not god-awful with stuffing them, but it's like If Curtis starts shooting takedowns, cash out your Kopylov picks. It's over. Yes, boys, I just cut because my camera died and I just yapped the last 3 fights to nobody. So may God be with me. I hate this card. I hate this camera. I hate this day. Let's get it. Cesar Almeida, Abdul Razak. I'm going to run through this because I already did it by myself talking to nobody. I'm going with Cesar Almeida. He beat Alex Pereira, so MMA math says lock it in. Just kidding. I'm cranky. Abdul is just like a bootleg Buckley. He's going to rush in, try and clip him with a huge power punch. And my guy, Cesar Almeida, is going to stay at range, kickbox, maybe shoot some takedowns because he can do that, even though he's only had 7 MMA fights. Gotta love it. Anything stood out for me real quick? The odds were horrible. We'll talk about that. Minus 280 for Almeida. Minus 280 for Almeida. I hate that for him. His only loss was to Kopylov. That's cool with me. And he fought EHOR last time and just basically did what I think he's going to do this fight. Stay at range, play the kickboxing game, and do that. But Abdul may see some holes in his game and say, hell no, Caesar, this is my night. Abdul KO is worth putting in there, but that's really about it. I think that the 3rd round he'll be gassed. This guy has big muscles, which means big no-no for the gas tank. My pick is Cesar Almeida, but I hate the odds. I will probably put a lot of Cesar Almeida points. Next fight, Santiago Ponzinibbio and Carlston Harris. I am actually surprised that Ponzinibbio is an underdog. Just way more vetty. The people he's fought, I know Harris has fought Rakhmonov. But my guy Ponzinibbio was last 5. Salikov, who's a veteran dog. Holland, who's banned for life for my parlays. Morono, Michel Pereira, and Jeff Neal. Granted, he's 1-4 in his last 5. I forgot to mention that part. But I think they're kind of just banking off that. I think we might get plus money for Ponzinibbio because he's 1-4 in his last 5, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to be betting on Ponzinibbio. I'm going to be honest, I've never heard the name Carlston Harris in my life. I don't know where I've been, but that's proof I need to stop smoking so much weed. These guys are both older, both strikers too, so it's a rough one, boys. 38, 37. Both are 6 foot. I do think Ponzinibbio has a little bit more of a cracked chin. That's my issue here. But other than that, I like Ponzinibbio plus money. I'll definitely be putting him on some parlays. Leave me alone. Let's see what we got here, boys. We got the main event of the evening. Please fight naked. I'm kidding. Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas. I like it. I like it a lot for Ribas. Not for Dern at all. Dern's striking is out the window. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's worse than Juliana Pena. It's worse than my baby sister. It's just the rushing in, chin up in the air. It's like she's dying to get a takedown so bad she doesn't care where her chin's at or like if her punches are. It's just a nightmare for me. I can't bet on someone like that. I have the image of her upside down with her coochie in the air and her head on the canvas after Andrade sniped her. I think it was round 2. Yeah, round 2. So I feel like I know when to pick her and when to pick against her, in my opinion. I can't remember. I think I picked Dern against Lupi. I definitely picked against Dern for Lemos and Andrade. And I just like Ribas' striking. They're both, well, they're not both Brazilian. Ribas is the true Brazilian, as where Mackenzie Dern just kind of snuck her way in there with the accent. Something to keep in mind here is that it says that I believe Ribas is coming down to 115. So I don't know how much that affects her. We don't have to worry about her jaw getting cracked because that doesn't even exist in this fight. But my pick is Ribas. It's that simple. I'm going with Ribas. Let's go over the parlay real quick, boys, before this camera cuts out one more time and I just lose it. This is a free $25 bet to win $300. I combined it $311 on here too. Keep that in mind. And the only one I really wish I didn't put, no offense to my guy THIAGO, but is THIAGO MOISES. But everything else I like. It's a 7-leg. Medic, Ribas, Bashi, Kopylov, Moises, Moicano, Makhachev. I like it. I wish I had the balls to put Merab on there, but I just don't. I am picking Merab, guys, over Umar, just for the record. That's it, guys. Appreciate you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back boxing tomorrow. Let's get it. Peace.